Welcome to Gregorian Chat. Kia ora. Welcome to the podcast. This is Gregorian Chat, the show bringing you that real Catholic banter. Sticking only with the issues that matter.
That's right.
Oh man, it's good to be back in the studio, Dom.
It's really good to see you, man.
It's great to see you too. Man, there's something wrong with these blinds, eh?
Yeah.
As in you and me. You might be wondering why we are wearing these blindfolds today.
Yep.
And we are wondering that also. I just thought it would be interesting to know what it would be like to be blind, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, what would it have been like for Paul, you know, on that road to Emmaus? Damascus, same thing. Definitely the same thing. And I think it would have been a bit like this, but maybe less flamingos.
Yeah. Those flamingos.
Anyway, it's great to have you on the podcast. What's our topic today, Dom?
Our topic is your body building up the kingdom?
I don't know. Do you even lift his name on high? Stole that blatantly from another Christian meme or something like that. Anyway, but yeah, it's kind of like the body issue, I guess.
Yeah.
Body issue of podcasts.
Yeah, kind of like a bit of vanity, a bit of insanity, a bit of, vibrancy, like these flamingos.
Are you not wearing yours anymore?
I've just taken it off. I had it over my mouth as well the whole time.
Well, you should have just kept it there from the start.
I did. It was there at the start.
But yeah, so it's the body issue. And I feel like my body is an issue, you know?
I have issues with your body.
I have so many issues in my body. It's not funny. It's kind of funny.
Anyway.
But yeah, today we're just trying a green tea.
Yeah.
Must confess we didn't quite get down to T2. Sorry, guys.
I wasn't agreeing to have this tea, but apparently Dom chose it anyway.
I feel like it's pretty greenable tea.
No, yeah?
But anyway, so I guess the thing that really spurred this podcast was just kind of thinking, okay, is it okay for Catholics to bodybuild? So that was kind of our starting point, you know? Isn't it vain? Or I guess, like our immediate reaction to things such as bodybuilding, especially if you're someone like myself who isn't very fit, is like, well, there must be something wrong with that because...
Yeah, and I think also
that's not me.
When you think of bodybuilding, you think of people like Arnold Schwarzenegger or these like huge guys, and it's like it's just got to be more complicated just living. I mean, getting through doors, you just have to turn your sideways and walk through, and
even using the bathroom and stuff must be
right.
hard.
You know, washing your back in the shower.
Yeah.
What if it's a small shower cubicle?
I don't know. Maybe Arnie gets his wife to wash those little bits on his back that he can't reach.
Yeah.
Get to the middle. Get to the sternum.
Honey,
I can do that myself.
Yeah.
Not to mention Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Anyway, so bodybuilding, right?
You think of these like monsters of people and you think that cannot be healthy. There's also the whole thing of like steroids everyone talks about, but like I mean, personally, I'm not as fit as I like to be due to laziness.
Pretty fit, but
thanks, man. Anyway, but like I do follow a lot of fitness blogs, and I do find a lot of actual like inspiration from these like trainers and these fitness people, even Arnie himself sometimes, thinking about like how to take on life and how to tackle certain goals, because I guess, and this is something that like I guess we learn a lot in theology of the body, is that like the body makes physical the spiritual. You know, it makes visible something that would be ordinarily invisible, i.e. our souls.
That's right.
And I think, you know, I read something the other day about the rosary, and it was saying how it's important to pray the rosary out loud because the movement of your lips changes like a disposition in your spirit.
Of your hips, eclipse, you elephant. Sorry, bit of U2 lyricism there. Carry on.
Okay. The movement of your lips in praying the Hail Marys and such like affects a change spiritually in your soul, and then so it works. It works its way out, and and I think bringing that to what we're talking about, like bodybuilding, it like makes me think like, you know, if you have like a like a good routine and regime and discipline, it's like that physical activity will work its way into maybe your spiritual life as well.
Yeah, so I guess a lot. There are some main reasons why Christians might be kind of opposed to bodybuilders or people that are really into fitness, you know. And I guess so the main 5 would usually be, the big one is vanity, right? So
yes.
they see someone who's really big into fitness and they say, well, working on your body like that, vanity.
Well, and I think that comes with like the social media world. It's like I'm at the gym. Here's my photograph of me
for sure.
in the
It's
gym.
getting way easier to be vain, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's the first one, vanity. The next one would be that it's unnatural, you know, and this is where we're talking about like Arnie, about those guys who are all oiled up in their little bikini, speedo, manginis, or whatever they're called.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Okay, so that's unnatural. Another one would be that it's time wasting. So you kind of think, how many hours do you spend at the gym each day? 6 hours.
Wow.
Man, you know, like that's way too much. You could be building the kingdom of God.
You could be.
I guess the fourth one would be like health reasons. I'm sure if you work out too much or your body, you know, is in a certain way, you might do damage to your back, or you might, you know,
who knows?
Potentially. And another one, which is actually pretty big, is that people say, well, it can get in the way of your spiritual life if you're spending too much time doing this. It kind of goes in with time wasting as well. But
yeah.
You know, if it's becoming more of a priority than God, because I think like when I was doing a bit of research on this and kind of looked at 1 Corinthians 6 verses 19 to 20, and it says, you know, Paul kind of says to the Corinthians, do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit? And, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then the last line is, therefore honor God with your bodies. I think a lot of people might just use that as like, oh, see, we need to, you know, your body is a temple, we need to make the temple as good as it can be.
Be a temple.
I must be. With pillars.
Yeah.
And a holy of holies.
I don't want to see your hole.
Anyway, so that's a good question. What would be the holy of holies?
No, I don't.
No, okay, that's not good. So it's kind of like, well, how do we? Is there a somewhere in between? Is there a line?
Between the holy of holies.
Sorry, guys, you have to indulge us here. So that's the question, and I guess it's like we don't want to put too much of the burden of proof onto people who are really into fitness. I'm sure all of you guys know a friend who's a great Christian Catholic who's, you know, into fitness in a big way,
or maybe even yourself. You know, you put quite into fitness, and like I think it's one of these things. Is like, you know, people can feel like they might be a little bit judged, but it's all like. I just enjoy doing this, and now you guys are making a thing of it. You know, I feel like sometimes that can be the thing, because also I watched this video the other day about a guy who's just won like Mr. Universe or whatever it is, 7 years in a row or something like. Oh no, I think it was like 3 or 4 years in a row, and Arnie was 7. But anyway, and his story of how he got there was actually really inspirational, because he was like one of those kids that was like. Bad neighborhood, and he didn't have any prospects, so he went to try and get a basketball scholarship, and he just wasn't good enough. And then he found in bodybuilding, in getting like this perfect physique, which he's now won like 3 or 4 years in a row, he found a way out of his bad situation. It's like, I mean, you can say what you want about vanity and stuff, but that guy's he now has a life because of this. And so I mean, we're all allowed our hobbies, and someone might be doing like, you know, matchstick monuments, and it's all like, that's a waste of time, isn't it? Or they might be, you know, badly painting. No, I don't know.
Like the person who painted these. No, but I get, that's right. It can really bring you out of a place of darkness. I think a lot of people would say that, and the motivation, and even just yesterday on 7 Sharp. A good friend of mine was on there, and she gave her testimony about how she was a mother of 5 kids, and then she started this Busy Mums fitness program that really helped her to get off antidepressants, and really start feeling like a better mum, essentially. And this woman who runs the program went from having 10 people a week doing it to 450 women doing it, and most of that through social media. And I guess my own story would be like, I kind of the other way, like I had the perfect body. And you know, I didn't even have to try. I just had a perfect body, and I really had to. When I realized the amount of time that I spent, you know, just thinking about how perfect my body was, I had to tone it down. It was like, you know, I'm kidding. I've never had a single ab in my life.
Yeah.
I wish I did.
I was absconded from something once, but I don't think it counts. I'm often absent, but...
I had an abscess, if that counts.
I drank some absinthe earlier.
No, but actually, on a more serious note... Practice abstinence, people.
Hey!
On a serious note, I had some minor surgery like a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
So I haven't actually been able to exercise in any significant way, except for like walking around. But because my lifestyle was normally like a lot of biking, normally a lot of like football, things like that, I didn't really realize how much motivation I got from regular exercise.
Yes.
You know, like how much life it actually brought into my life. And so it has been actually really hard in the last month and a half because I've gained weight. I haven't, you know, been able to... And the other motivation is like, okay, well, if you can't exercise, you need to eat healthy. And it's like, well, when I can't exercise, I don't feel like eating healthy. I just feel like indulging myself because I'm going through a hard time. So it's like, go easy on yourself kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And I think, you know, we need to really be prudent with ourselves as like when we, you know, because we don't want to be saying like no bodybuilder is vain. Nor do we want to say all bodybuilders are vain.
But all bodybuilders have veins.
Yes, and usually huge ones. Anyway, but like we want to, like, being healthy is a good thing, and sometimes we can be like, bodybuilders, you know, their arms are too big, or this is right, so I'm going to keep far away from that. Never going to gym. I'm going to eat cake every day. Haha, I'll never look like that. And then, you know, we need to, you know, we're talking about building up our bodies to serve the Lord. We've got to be ready to serve. We've got to be ready to go. And, you know, living an active life, you know, eating the right things, you know, being healthy is good. But yeah, so we don't want to go too far the other way either when we're looking at this. Yeah.
So it's, I guess the balance, right? So
yes.
It's like a lot of things in life. It's about staying away from the extremes.
Yes. And I think, you know, sometimes, you know, you mentioned earlier, sometimes people think it's a waste of time. It's like, who says that you can't, you know, it can't be part of your spiritual life? Like I was listening to this guy, Jared Zimmerer. I don't know how to say his name, but it's something like Jared Zimmerer. And he's published a book on like the 10 Commandments of weightlifting. And he's a guy who's like...
Thou shalt not leave the weights on the bench press.
Pretty much, stuff like that. He's read it. No, but like he's like somebody who's like deeply spiritual in his Catholic faith. Like he was described as a cross between kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Saint Augustine of Hippo. You know, so he knows his Catholic theology and he's dedicated his life to it. And he talks about how going and doing weights can actually be a spiritual exercise as well as a physical one. And you know, pray before, during, and after your sets. And it can be like an example of laying your body on the line a bit and saying, you know what, God, I'm going to do this set for you. And that sounds real cheesy. But like, you know, if it's an actual offering, if you're going through a struggle in life, like say, you know, exams or, you know, something even worse, why can you offer that up, but you can't offer up like your physical struggles as well? Yeah,
it's like Jesus, as I'm repping this one, I want to be repping you all the time.
Yeah. Also, have you seen some of those crucifixes? I mean, Jesus had abs.
Oh, Jesus breaking the cross.
Jesus had abs.
Jesus did. Oh, those ones.
Yeah, I mean, even the one Jesus breaking the cross. Yeah.
I mean, but the thing is, like, I think we have to think about it in our context today as well. And like back in the day, everyone was basically a workman, you know.
Yeah.
So your day's work was physical.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Whereas it's just not the way it is. You know, you do have, and if you go to a farm and you look at farmers, like often they're in really good physical shape.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's not as if going back to that is like somehow unnatural, I think, in a way, but there is a point where it can be unnatural. But I guess the bigger thing that's coming into all of this discussion around the body is whether or not you're fit or fat. Let's just say that.
Let's just say it.
It shouldn't just be about the body ever.
Right.
But then again, like you do get those people who are saying, oh, you know, everyone has a different sized body. You can't shame me for for being fat, or you can't tell me that being the weight that I am is wrong. Yeah. And it's like, to a certain degree, that's true. And we should never really, I think you were saying before, like, we shouldn't comment, whether it's to a fat person or to a bodybuilder, necessarily about their physique. Like, you're being like, to a bodybuilding, or just saying, well, that's pretty vain of you. To a fat person saying, I really want to help you, and I've noticed that you're quite fat. So I would like to be able to help you out of the goodness of my thin heart, kind of thing. But it is a question, because it's like, let's say your wife, or no, let's not use that one. Let's say your child is getting obese because of what they're eating and stuff. And so, well, if you love them, surely you would kind of help instruct them to say, like, hey, I've noticed your diet's pretty bad, and the thing is, like what I've been going through, it's usually not an isolated thing. It's usually not just that they like eating and they haven't had a chance to go for a walk. It's probably like, it's a particularly stressful time, and it just makes it so much harder to prioritize looking after yourself. And that's I guess the big topic here is, like, how do we encourage each other to look after ourselves mentally, physically, spiritually? And so I guess there's two elements of this. It's like, what do we do, for people that want to keep fit and go out and do gyms? Like, how do we react? How should they act? And then there's also, like, how should we act as people that don't particularly like going to gym to those people, or like, to people that are on the opposite side of the scale. There's like, it's essential, and to bear in mind the dignity of every human person, whether you're fat, whether you're thin, whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're Kiwi, Aussie, whatever. Well, Aussies. Anyway, realize the dignity of that human person, and the situation that they're in may be helping them out of another situation, whether it's eating a bit more comfortably than usual, or whether it's going to the gym a bit more than usual. And I think it's a case of, we need to be there for that person. But then again, whilst you're in that situation, it's like, actually, I get a lot out of going to the gym. Like, personally, I mean, it's not really a fitness thing, but I love praying the rosary. But I know that I can only really pray the rosary when I'm walking somewhere. If I'm sat in a chapel praying a rosary, I can do it maybe every now and then, but I get real fidgety, I don't focus, and then I'm like, am I actually praying? So it's like, that's their prayer. And like, we should encourage them in this time to not just say, okay, doing weights is prayer, but no. Make doing weights your prayer. And like I said, that Jared Zimmerer guy, look him up, because he's actually pretty cool. And he helps with that whole concept of turning your fitness into your prayer. Yeah, I think something that is like, I've kind of seen some priests who are into bodybuilding as well. And there's something in me that's kind of like, it seems wrong. I won't name any names, but like, it's kind of, it's Father Chris. No, I'm joking. Father Chris Denham? No. But kind of thinking, like, because of the way my mind would think about it, well, that's not the job of a priest. The job of a priest isn't to look buff. But in some senses, it's like, well, surely priests, have to take care of themselves. And if you saw a priest working out, wouldn't you be like, you kind of, well, for a start, you could say there are much worse habits that a priest could have. True, yeah. And in fact, I think it could be really good, and shows that they have a lot of, motivation. And because you also see a lot of people in general, I guess priests as well, who maybe just let go a little bit. Yeah. Kind of probably because they've got a lot of stress in their life, but who knows? But anyway, I guess it's not about judging in that sense. I just know that as someone who's not particularly like buff or in shape, I get threatened when I see, not necessarily threatened, but like I see a guy walking up the street and like he's in shape, and like, I would like to be like that without any of the effort. But we do that spiritually, right? We look up to people spiritually, and we think, I would like to be like that. So I guess in a sense, it's like, we need to be like, I want to be like that, but not, so I can attract women, so I can pose, and wear tight t-shirts, etc., etc. I think what's essential here is like bringing God into the picture. It's like, where is God in this moment? In this selfie in the gym, where is God? Is God in the selfie that, like, am I evangelizing through this? Because we can evangelize in the gym. My brother-in-law, like, he knows a bunch of guys, and they go out to clubs with him, and he's like, I could say, no, I'm not going to clubs with you anymore because I'm Catholic.
or I could go to clubs with you. And he says the amount of conversations he has about God with so many people in clubs is ridiculous. So bring God into the picture. Whether you're fat, thin, like a monster like Arnold Schwarzenegger, where is God in this situation? Is he at the center of it all, or is if you left God outside whilst you do your gym workout, or like if you left God outside whilst you do whatever you're doing, and that's when we need to be saying, actually no, I'm going to rein it in. This isn't for Jesus. This isn't building up the kingdom.
That's right, and we've got to make our whole life, this feast of. It's got to be like a buffet, I guess you could say. Anyway, thanks for joining us for this podcast. Please leave your thoughts below.
Yes.
We'd like to know what you think. What do you think? Christians and bodybuilding and fitness.
Yes.
And being fat.
Yeah.
Kia ora.
God bless. Hey guys, thanks for watching the podcast. I've got good news. It just got a whole lot easier to search for us online.
All you got to do is search Gregorian Chat into YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, and Player FM for those who are on Android.
Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. See you later. God bless.